And we're back with episode 4. What's going on, everybody? We're back with Raylarious Talks, and I'm your host, Raylarious, I'm assuming, because clearly ain't nobody else here. Carrie ain't here today. We gonna do this shit solo, me and y'all. We gonna have a one-on-one connection straight the hell up. This story, personally, is hilarious to me. Like, I told everybody about this story before, and everybody seems to love it. So I was like, you know what? Let me tell y'all. Let me tell my peoples that be watching my podcast. And if you're just sitting there using this as white noise, don't know why I did that, but hopefully that got your attention. Anywho, let's get to the goddamn motherfucking story. If you got some water, sit that water there and get ready for the story, because you got to stay hydrated. If you got some milk, I don't know what you're doing. That's kind of weird, drinking milk, watching a podcast. You got some liquor, you better pull up. And if you got that blunt, let me tell you something straight up, you better light up. It's going to be a great one. So anyways, this story starts with me in high school. So let me give you like a good background of like how I was in high school. I was just a bad piece of shit. I'm just going to be straight honest with you. More than anything else, I just didn't give a shit. I was just a young motherfucker that didn't respect anybody. I was walking around letting teachers know, like, fuck you, this and that, blah, blah. What you shouldn't, you know what I mean? But I was just more like the class clown, and I loved like the reaction out of people, because like my dumb ass would just walk up and just say stupid shit to the teachers, like, oh, shut the fuck up, Mr. Stewart. And like my friends will, oh yeah, Raymond, you're fucking hilarious. Little do I know, my dumb ass is failing this class. Like, I shouldn't be doing this shit, but guess what? I love these laughs. Raymond lives for these goddamn laughs. If you know me, worth it, motherfucker. I ain't staying for detention for none of that shit at all. I'm just gonna leave. But around this time, I'm a junior, and by like my freshman year, everybody hated me. Like, every single teacher hated me. They knew what was in store. So like by my junior year, at that point, everybody was literally just like sick of me, to a point that nobody really knew like what to do with me. There was like, I would always fuck with them, because I would always like pass like the important class that I needed to pass, and all the like lame classes and shit I'll fail on purpose. They're like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Motherfucker, you can't do much. I'm actually somewhat smart, but still playing with y'all motherfuckers. But like, they were like literally mad. It got to a point where I would get suspended. Oh, I remember I got suspended for 3 days. I couldn't remember what it was from the assistant principal. And I got back on the first day that I got back. He looked at me. He was like, didn't I suspend you? I was like, yeah, bro. I literally did my 3-day suspension. He was like, you know what? I don't think you learned your lesson. Here's another 3 days. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I didn't even think you can do that shit. Like, I didn't even think that was allowed. But apparently he didn't give a shit. Took my 3-day suspension right on top of that 6 days. That's how bad I was. So around this time, like I'm getting older, like I'm junior year, you know what I mean? You don't run the school year, you're not a senior, but at the same time, like, you got experience, people know you. I'm walking around, motherfuckers just like, oh, hey, what up? All the freshmen is like, oh my God, I've heard of him before. It's a wild motherfucker. I'm like, you know, like, I'm creating a good reputation for me. But at the same time, all the teachers that are there, like, they just like, oh man, they just didn't want me there. So I can't remember specifically what it was that I did that just riled everybody up. I think I was just like swearing at everybody. I think I was swearing at one of the assistant principal that really didn't like us, because he was Cape Verdean like us. And if you don't know what Cape Verde is, I'll explain that in like a whole different video. But he was Cape Verdean like us. But I remember one quote that he told us one time. He was like, hey, I hate you Cape Verdeans. And I'm like, motherfucker, aren't you Cape Verdean? How does that work? Like, what? Like, that's some, like, if you're black and you're like, oh, I hate you black people. Motherfucker, excuse the fuck me? How does that work? So we never really had like a good relationship. So I think specifically that day, I said something to him, and it was like the ticking straw. He was like, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. He was like, I need to bring you to the principal. And no one really brought the kids to the principal, because they would always deal with them. You know what I mean? But it just got to a point where everybody was just mad. But this is where it pissed me off more than anything else, because I got in trouble with him, and then I like whatever shit that happened between him, I'm swearing, I'm like, fuck you, you piece of shit, at him and so forth. He's like, you know what? We going to the principal. Called it on the radio. I was like, bitch, I ain't afraid about no radio. I don't give a damn. I got a Nextel like back in the day. Chirp, chirp. What's up? Call her up. I don't give a damn. He was like, yeah, I'll meet you in the office. All I heard her say was like, is it Raymond? He was like, yes. She was like, all right, meet you in the office. I was like, okay, all right. I don't know how the fuck you was that prepared, but all right, let's do this. So we're walking to the office. He's just like, he hasn't said a word. I don't give a damn. As soon as we open up the door to get into the office, I kid you not. Like, the funny part about everything else is like how well designed everything was. Because mind you, everything happened within like the first, like, that was like the first 10 minutes of everything happening. So like the walk to the office was like a good minute. You know what I mean? As soon as we got there, everybody was there. When I mean everybody, I mean like everybody. I'm talking about it was weird because the principal was there. That's what I was expecting to be there more than anything else. And then the guidance counselor was there. I was like, all right, like I ain't, what's going on with that shit? Like, I don't think the guidance counselor needs to be here right now. Like, I'm not going crazy, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Guidance counselor, because like he wants to talk to me in a professional manner. Raymond, are you all right? You know, you're gonna have to listen. Shut the fuck up, Chris. I ain't got time for this shit. The school police was there, but what kind of like threw me off with everything else is like, we literally had 3 school police officers that would roam the halls and shit, make sure everything was fine. All 3 of them was there. I was like, bitch, who the fuck is patrolling this goddamn school right now? Like, what's going on? All 3 out here? It didn't even make any sense. Why would you be in a meeting like with the kid? So he was there. Like 3 of my other teachers was there. Now it got kind of crazy because I'm just like, who is watching these kids, bro? Like, there's so many teachers here right now. I'm just like, what in the hell? It felt like a whole intervention. I was like, god damn, I didn't even know what an intervention was, but they explained it later. So the principal's like, Raymond, we're sick of your shit. Hold on, I gotta hit this cigarette. It's weed. So the principal was like, oh yeah, Raymond, you know, like we're sick of, like, she didn't say like that, we're sick of your shit. Well, it was just more like, you know what, like we can't do this anymore, Raymond. You're out of control, etc. and so forth. The guidance counselor came, was like, Raymond, you're gonna have to change your ways, blah 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 blah. Even the school police was in there, like, etc. and so forth. And it was funny though, because everybody got to say what they had to say, and the school police went to go say their shit. They was like, yeah, Ray, you're gonna have to listen. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. How are you helping? Like, either you bringing me to jail or you shouldn't be here. Like, what are you about to tell me? Some inspirational shit? So what, I can become a school police officer like you? Better get the fuck out. You know, you got a gun on you, fool. Like, I can't respect a dude with a gun. Like, you didn't even have a baton. Like, not even a pepper spray, nothing. Like, I don't even understand how you only had handcuffs. Like, how's that gonna work? Yeah, you ain't intimidated. Shut up, dude. Like, go sit your ass down. So they're just doing all that shit. And at a certain point, the principal was like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's not gonna work out. Either you change your ways and stop being a child, or there's gonna be repercussions and everything else to what you're doing. So I'm sitting here like, first of all, Lee, I don't even know what repercussions is. Like, you don't have to explain that to me. But more than anything else, I got so mad at that because I was, mind you, I'm a child at the time. I get mad so easily. So I guess that ticked me off to a point that I decided it was a great idea for me to be like really disrespect her. Mind you, like I told you, nobody really disrespected her. Nobody really even came to her office or be sent to her office. So it was one of those rare moments. I was just like, fuck it. I was like, listen here. I was like, I don't give a fuck, fat bitch. It's y'all know me. This language gonna get wow. So I was like, I don't give a fuck, fat bitch. Fuck all of you guys. I don't give this not shit that you guys can do. I'm just like rambling off. You know what I mean? Thinking that I actually can do this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to be that guy that just talks shit to the principal. It is what it is. What's up, motherfucking? Yeah, Martha, I don't give a shit. Fuck your goddamn cookies you be bringing us every motherfucking year when we pass the MCAS, bitch. I didn't even take the MCAS. Fuck you. I just threw up like a pinky finger. But fuck that. So that wasn't smart whatsoever. So everybody's just like shocked at this point. So she literally looked at me when it was like she changed. She went from like regular, mind you, she's black. So she went from regular professional side. As soon as I started disrespecting her, she was like, you know what? You're fucking expelled. Get him out of here. Those are the only words I heard. I swear to God, I went from ha to what? Huh? Like, I've only heard this shit in the movies, like expelled. I was like, oh shit. Like, I got suspended before, but like in my head, it hasn't processed yet. So I think I'm the big bad motherfucker. So I'm like, motherfucker, I'm out. I'm out of here. What? You want to expel me? Bitch, fuck you. So I'm just making it worse. Just doing dumb shit that you're not supposed to do. Walking off. I felt like the man when I was leaving out. Because like as they're kicking me out, they're kicking me out with everybody. The school police, the guidance counselor, she's there, the assistant principal. So it just got really crazy to a point that everybody's in the hallways around this time. And there's like one more period left. So everyone, like, I'm just walking out and all the kids are on the side. And it just felt like I was in a music video or a movie. Just walking slow-mo. Everybody's like, oh my God. Oh, Raymond. I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll be back. Fuck you. I'll be back. But it's not, that's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, I'm not processing what expelled means. I'm just thinking like, I'm about to take a mini vacation. I'm good to go. No worries at all. Cool. Whatever. Left school, made it home. And I think it was like the next morning that I realized like, oh, this shit ain't good, motherfucker. Like, mind you, I got a strict mom at the time, so it's not like I can just go up to her and be like, hey, she was an immigrant mom at the time, so it's just like she didn't know that much English at all. So I could just like play it off. But same time, I can't just be like, hey, ma, I can never go to school again. She'll just slap the shit out of me and be like, what are you, fucking dumb? Are you that stupid? So I had to hide that shit somehow. So previously on days when I would get suspended, I would just like go to a friend's house. You know what I mean? That's what everybody would do. Go to your buddy's house. Hey, what are you doing? Et cetera and so forth. I had a buddy that graduated the year prior, so he would always be home. So I'm like, dude, I'm about to roll through, hang out, smoke. I called him up. No answer. I was like, damn, I'm fucked. I was like, you know what? I got options. It is what it is. We can do whatever I got to do. Called somebody up. No answer. Everybody's just like, what the hell? I texted my boy. I was like, hey, you at home? This is what pissed me off. He was like, nah, stupid. I'm in school. I was like, oh shit. Fuck, you right, nigga. It's Monday. What the fuck is wrong with me? Like, it got to like, I'm getting scared. I don't know what much to do. But I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you know what? It's like expulsion. I can literally just walk up to school, apologize, and then all this shit gonna get better. Nigga, I need my education. Like, goddamn. So I walked up to the school. I remember one day, and I knew this is how shit got real. As soon as I walked up, somehow the principal's spider sensor started tingling. Bitch is never outside. All of a sudden, as soon as I went outside and I was walking up the steps, motherfucker just popped up out of nowhere. I swear, it scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh, Janet, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even, what's going on? She's like, nah. You're expelled, Raymond. Leave the premises right now or else we're calling the police. I was like, oh, damn. This is like my safe zone. I was like, I can't even get in. She was like, no, that's it. You're done. I was like, oh, I'm fucked. It's like, there's not much to do. She was like, did you tell your mother? I was like, turned around, just walked away. I was like, I ain't going to tell you the truth on that shit. So now in my head, I'm like, all right, what are you going to do? There's not much you can do. So at the time, I had a cousin named Jason, and he went to UMass Boston. It was probably like a couple of minutes away from my house. So I'm like, hey, like, he's like one of those, he's literally like one of those coolest cousins I ever have. I have like 2-3 cousins that are like the shit you know what I mean? So I was like, yo, I got expelled, buddy. Can you help me out? Can I go hang with you? He's like, yeah, I'm in college, bro. Just swing through. In my head, I'm like, oh shit. I felt like I graduated. I was like, nigga, I can come here to college. Motherfucker rolled through. I was like, all right, that is the plan. I was like, cool. So I started going to his college. Literally, junior year, shit didn't work out. Started going to this motherfucker's college. Like, I ain't gonna tell my mom. I'm gonna figure it out. Something's gonna work. I'm not thinking far ahead. Like, eventually, what are you gonna do? I'm just thinking in the moment. I'm like, fuck it. It is what it is. He smoked. He was the first person I smoked with too. They had a Burger King in their cafeteria, which blew my fucking mind. I'm like, god damn, I'm coming from motherfucking piece of shit lunches and pizzas and shit to motherfucking Burger King. I can order a Whopper after I've done my history class. Bitch, ain't this some goddamn shit? I was like, I love college. I went bananas. I was happy as shit. I was friends with his friends. He would show me around. It got so bad to a point that I went to his class one day. We're just sitting in his class. I was like, hey, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. He's like, just come to my class. I was like, you can do that? He was like, yeah, motherfucker, just come to my class. I was like, all right, cool. Sat in his class. He was like, don't worry about it. It's college. Like, it's not like the teacher's gonna pick on you. I was like, you know what? It makes sense. But in my head, I'm thinking about one of those like colleges and one of those schools with the big ass auditorium. So you're all the way in the back. Nobody's gonna see you. As soon as I walked in, I seen the same desk I have in high school and like the same size, but a little bit smaller. I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, the fuck is this? I was like, I could have stayed in fucking high school for this bitch bullshit. Sat in the back. As soon as I sat in the back for like 2 seconds, the teacher just walks up like, yeah, Jason. He's like, here. Threw me off because I was like, bitch, we taking attendance? Like, what the fuck? I didn't even think that was a thing. Says Jennifer here. And then she, like, I was waiting for her to walk by me and not say nothing. You know what I mean? Trying to play like I'm a foreign exchange student and shit. She just looks at me and was like, what? Who are you? I was like, oh, I didn't even know what the fuck to say. It was like one of those moments. He's just like, I don't know, bitch. Like, I know who I was, but I didn't know how to explain it to her. So luckily, Jason just walks in. He's like, yeah, that's my cousin. He just came from Cape Verde and he's just with me. Bitch was just like, cool, and just went off to the next person. I was like, this is some shit. So basically, I just hung there with him for like a good month or two. I think it was like 2 months of just hanging, just literally waking up and going to college. Then it just got bad to a point that it's like, you know, you have that cool cousin, but when they have to get real with you, they start asking you real questions. So at one point, he was like, yeah, Ray, we're just smoking, though. He threw it at the weirdest time. So we're just smoking. He just passed me a blunt. I'm just happy. I'm like, I'm hanging with my cousin. Everything is great. And he was like, yeah, so I mean, what you gonna do, bro? You gonna have to go back to school. I'm like, oh, I can't stay here forever? He was like, nah, nigga, you what? No, dummy. You gonna have to fucking go back to school at one point. So now everything is starting to like hit me where it's just like, damn, like, it's like somebody kicking you out of their house after you've been there for so long. It's like, now what do? I feel like I'm homeless. had to take a break from one of my sponsors. It was so fast because I ain't got no sponsors. Anyways, so it really got bad to a point. So I was like, all right, now I got to figure it out. You know what I mean? Now I got to get to a point where it's like, what do you do, Ray? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create the ultimate plan. You know what I mean? So this is Boston. There's a lot of Cape Verdeans. You know what I mean? So there was this homegirl that I had at the time. I think her name was Jackie. So I was like, you know, we had a little crew. So I was like, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you just call the school, pretending like you're my mom, pretend like you don't speak English that well, you know what I mean? And they'll be cool with that, and we'll see where that goes. We can just figure it out from there. So she was like, yeah, got you. No problem. I was like, motherfucker, you are Jesus right now. So we went to a Burger King that was like next door to the school and called up the school. She's doing the accent and everything. Nails it. Everything is going perfect. Even the assistant principal, which is Cape Verde, believed everything. He's sitting there like, oh yeah. I mean, Raymond, he's a crazy kid, et cetera, so forth. But he just needs this, all the little shit that I don't give a fuck about. You know what I mean? So I made her put it on speaker. They're explaining. I was like, yes, everything is going great. It got to a point that was like, hey, we have to have you come in. I was like, I made her come up with the live, like, that's not gonna work whatsoever. So she was like, hey, can we just do it over the phone? They was like, yeah, that would work. You know, like, as long as you know, we can try to work on something from there. So they were happy with everything. From there, they was going to explain the next move on what I was going to have to do, like basically how to come back or what, you know? So her dumb ass, like, I love you, Jackie. If you're watching this, great. If you're not, even fucking better. I could just talk even more shit. I'm just playing. But like everything is going great. So the woman's about to explain the next part. This motherfucker, I don't know what, like, just like popped in her head. She just giggles 3 times, and I remember it was 3 times. First time I ever heard somebody giggle 3 times. Like, I was like, what the fuck was that? I counted 1, 2, 3. Weird. So she giggles and then nervously says, "Oh my God, I can't do it." In English, mind you, she was speaking Cape Verdean Creole the whole time. In English, hangs up the phone. I was like, you motherfucker. Why would you do that? She was like, I don't know. I couldn't keep up the lie. I was like, you just lied 99% of the way through, but you want to give up on 1%? I swear to God, let me tell you something. My mom told me never hit a woman, but I tell you, something was itching on my backhand. Like, I ain't never pimp smacked somebody, but like the formation just came up. It was like, but I didn't pull the trigger. I swear I didn't pull the trigger, but I was like, Jackie, I swear to God, if I was born in a different time century, Sean Connery era, it would have been like, pop, 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 pop. Get over here. Stuck like, anyways, so that fucked up the whole shit. So now I'm at a point where she's like, all right, now they know I'm lying. Now they know I created a lie and everything else. So now I had to come clean. Now it was like desperation mode. That was literally the last straw. So I had to tell my mom. So I go, I tell my mom everything that happened. My mother's so dramatic because, like, when it comes to Cape Verdean mothers or, I don't know, international mothers or any mothers in general, yo, this motherfucker just starts bawling, crying. I'm like, what the fuck are you crying about? Like, I'm the one that's fucked up in this situation. So she's bawling. She had to come up to school. We had a whole meeting of how bad I am, shit that I never told her, days I've got suspended and everything else. She's just looking at me like, I swear to God, I want to fuck you up right now. And it was fucked. It was crazy because she was giving me that face, and it was like, the assistant principal, mind you, he's Cape Verdean, so he understood that and I swear, like, she didn't even say a word. She just looked at me. He looked at me and her and what was like, we can leave if you want. I was like, son of a bitch, I need y'all here as a witness, nigga. I don't want to die. What the fuck? Like, I felt like my back was against the wall. It's like, you son of a bitch. So they told her all that shit. She was pissed off, obviously. So they told her, like, hey, we can't take him back. Obviously, he's expelled. So we have to send him to an alternative school. My mother's like, she's like, what the fuck is an alternative school? So I explained to her, I was like, oh, that's where all the bad kids go. You know, they get locked up and all that shit. In my head, I'm like, oh shit, like, this ain't good. Like, I ain't a thug. I ain't a criminal. I ain't shit. I'll fuck a motherfucker up if, you know, motherfucker ain't antsy. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel. Like, at the time, I ain't never been to jail. So I was like a little worried. You know, you always hear crazy shit about like alternative school. That's where all the fucking crazy murderer kids that got away goes and shit. And it's like, do I really want to be next to a murderer? Like, hey, bruh, can I have some of your carrots? Nigga, stab me up. What the fuck? Like, I didn't even get my diploma yet and I'm getting stabbed the fuck up. Like, I'm not trying to do shit like that. So I was kind of nervous, but we had to go to these top 3 alternative schools. So we went to the first one. As soon as we get there, they were explaining like the school, how it works. And I had to explain about myself and who I am, et cetera, so forth. So as soon as I started explaining like who I am, they seen my transcript. They was like, yeah, we're good. Usually they wait like a good a day or two to make a decision. They made the decision right then and there. They was like, we good. We good. We don't even want him here. We're like, mm-mm. I was like, all right, that's cool. That's the least of my worries right now. Like, that's like the lowest school. It's like, that school is like, whatever. The second one we went to, I started asking people around. Like, you start asking your friends and shit. It's like, hey, have you ever been to that school? I had a homegirl, and her name is Aisha. She was like, yeah, I've been there. It ain't that bad. Blah, 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 and so forth. I was like, all right, this school's great. Probably like 2 days later, she hits me up. She was like, yeah, I just got jumped, but I fucked them bitches up. I was like, what? And she was showing me the pictures and shit. I think this is like when Nextels was a thing. Burped a little bit. And she showed me a picture, and she really fucked these bitches up. There was like 5 of them. I was like, is this what? She was like, it's a regular Wednesday, brother. I was like, God, you said it wasn't that crazy. She was like, I mean, shit. I was like, fuck. Now I gotta learn how to fight. So we go to the interview and everything else. They do the same thing. Explain myself, look at my transcript, ask about me, blah. Then when they was like, yeah, we're good. We're all set with this one. Like you're just bad. I'm thinking to myself, like, how bad am I to a point that you guys got motherfuckers like that's real criminals in here? Like they got locked the fuck up. I haven't even got locked up. I'm just bad. That's it. It's like, yeah, now we good. So now I'm at the point where I go to the worst of the worst. Now it's at the point where this is guaranteed. They even said, everybody said it. They was like, this is where literally the worst of the worst go. I was like, all right, now I'm guaranteed a spot here, you know? So my mother goes in there, just bunch of, you know, crazy shit. Like I was walking by some dude, literally like kind of threw me off because I'm walking with my mom and the teacher, and then the dude's just walking by himself. And then the dude's like, what's up, Dwayne? The dude was like, what up, blood? I was like, oh shit. I was like, Dwayne, you up? Oh my God. The shit that fucking threw me off more than anything else, the teacher didn't even flinch. He just kept it moving. I was like, oh, so, okay. So we just gotta be, okay. Well, it is what it is. I gotta just learn my shit. So he's asking about me. He's like, yeah, this school's cool for you. You know what I mean? You'll love it, blah, 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 etc. and so forth. I'm just happy as shit at that point. I'm like, you know what? This can work. This might work. I might have to, you know, adjust a little bit. You know, I throw some iron, you know, pump a little iron, do all that shit. Cause my skinny Kevin Durant ass. You see this? If I go anywhere and get locked up, motherfuckers will be like, bitch, get over here. Get over. I'll be like, like, RZA, get your dumb ass over here. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to pump up. So same questions get asked. But the funny thing is like, I didn't even get a chance to explain myself. He was like, oh yeah, let me just look at your transcript, etc. and so forth. You could tell me about yourself. He flipped through like 2 pages. He was like, bloop. He was like, this is not gonna work. I was like, huh? I was like, I didn't even explain. I'm a good guy. He was like, nah. He was like, this is not gonna work. He was like, it's just a lot. We don't think that we're capable of taking you in. I was devastated. I was just like, yo, if a place won't take, what the hell is next? Jail? Like, what do I do at that point? So now I'm just confused. My mom's confused. She's like, ay, Dios mío. Like, she's not Spanish, but she was saying it because she watches a lot of novellas and shit. So she's confused. She's like, what the fuck do you do now, dummy? Like, you can't go to school. So now we have to literally go back to my old school and be like, bro, listen, nobody wants this dude. And like, they were so thrown off. Even the principal was like, I've never heard of that. Like, nobody. There was like nobody. It was like literally, and it got so bad to a point that even the last place that I went to, because I was like, hey, I don't have any other choices. What do I do? I've been expelled. And I guess this is a thing where whoever was the person that expelled you, if nobody wants you, they have to take you back, because obviously I can't get my education not given. I don't know if that made sense. And if it did, cool. If it didn't, oh well. But so now their back's against the wall. Now it's just like they have to take me back. So I'm like, I walked in like a boss. I was like, nobody wants me. Like, I kind of felt bad though. I was like, nobody wants me. I was like, you guys gonna have to take me. So like literally they had to take me back. They had to explain to my mom how I'm so far behind of the shit that I missed, etc. and so forth, how I have to make it up, all that shit. Guess what? Took me back, bitches. Motherfuckers hadn't have no choice. They took me back. I had to be on probation for a little bit. Didn't even take a day for me to get suspended because my dumb ass was not listening. But not much that they can do. They can't expel me twice, motherfucker. You can only do it once. And I came back. So it just got to a point where from there, took me back to my old ways. You gonna ask me if I learned anything throughout that story, the journey of not being in school. You know what I mean? My education being lacked on and everything else. I ain't learned shit at all. Not a damn thing. That school was horrible and crazy in so many goddamn motherfucking ways. Right now I'm recording, but Carrie just walking into the goddamn motherfucking building. But yeah, no, like I didn't learn a damn thing at all. But moral to the story is, the badder you are, the You gonna have to pause it?
Yeah, I'm gonna pause and start it again.
Why? How much time I got left? I'm ending it.
Oh, you in it?
Yeah. I'm not editing none of this out. So anyways, the moral to the story is
It goes on
just
30 minutes.
just act like a motherfucking piece of shit and get expelled, and guess what? They'll have to take you back because you a piece of shit and nobody wants you. So that's my story on how the hell this guy got expelled. And I don't suggest you guys get expelled, but guess what? If you do, listen to the story. It might help because guess what? They gonna have to take you back. But thank you for listening to my story, everybody. Bless on. I got a couple of more stories to come on and a couple of more skits. But thank you for everything. And guess what? We out of here because Carrie clearly said I gotta end this shit because I got 30 seconds on this goddamn camera. I ain't trying to edit. Peace.